Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dworkin and I'm a managing partner at 40 Capital. We specialize in a very unique approach to the stock market analysis where we calculate the market or individual stocks in three-dimensional space, and on top of that we use some of the timing tools that we've developed over the years, and that allows us to predict the market and individual stocks with great accuracy in both time and price. And we can typically do it on multiple time frames, whether it's long-term or short-term, doesn't really matter. We can not always, but quite often predict exactly what an underlying equity or once again the overall stock market will do going forward. So today we're going to be looking at one of the super equities that our system picked up. Super equities is our final iteration of our work, or the most advanced portion of our work, where we're essentially able to scan the entire S&P 500 and pick out only stocks that qualify for this sort of a designation. And I'll explain what that is in a second, but let me show you our software in action and how that works. So let me just open this very quickly. So we click on our super equities, and the system itself is very easy. We only have two parameters where we input the date, by which date we want that particular move to start, and then the secondary parameter, we ask the system to calculate the percentage increase that we anticipate for any given stock. So as you can see here, we want the move to begin before January 1st of 2026, and right here we indicate that we want the move to be at least 50%. And then we essentially ask for the software to scan whatever it is that we want. We typically, we can do the entire S&P 500, for example, but I'm not going to do it here because it takes actually a couple of hours for the system to scan the entire S&P 500, do all the calculation, and then pinpoint exactly what that particular stock is going to do. So let me just very quickly jump into what it is looking for. We found out through years of experience and that this is probably the best possible setup to look for in order to maximize gains while minimizing risk. So we typically look for stocks that are declining into a major bottom, either a mid-cycle bottom or a major bottom, as is the case here. And what our system is looking for, it is looking for very clear upcoming turning points. So when we do our calculations at various times, some stocks will have a very clear upcoming turning point, mathematically speaking, of course, and sometimes they will not, and that changes as stocks develop and progress over time. So Apple might be very clear now, but will not be so over the next couple of years, if you know what I mean. The other parameter we're looking for is a very small margin of error associated with it. So if, for example, this stock reaches the bottom that our system calculates and then breaks below it, but let's say 1 to 3%, then we can exit the position, or our stop loss is triggered and we can exit with small loss. The variable number 3 it is looking for a significant increase in the subsequent move. In this particular case, a move higher. Okay, so I want you to think about how powerful this is. Our system is able to calculate, and I'm not familiar with anything or anyone doing anything remotely similar. So our system is able to calculate in both time and price. This is very important, both time and price, the upcoming turning point. It picks the exact date, it gives us the exact price, and I'll show that in a second as an example of the stock we're going to be looking at, which is going to be actually Qatar Energy. And just as importantly, I would argue more importantly, it is then able to, from this bottom that it projects and anticipates, it is able to calculate the extent of the next move higher. Okay, and that is incredibly powerful. And once again, it can do it in time and price, so we know how long that particular move is going to take. Okay, so I'll just show you an output that we got from some of the S&P, not all of them, but we got, let's say we scanned 250 stocks. This is the output that we got in Excel sheet. Let me see, where is it? It's should be right here. Okay, so this is the output. It's I'm not going to get into it very much, but as you can see, by the way, the negative percentage increases or decreases, or the negative decreases you see in percentage here of anticipated move is the short side, not the long side. So as you can see, we're getting stocks that are expected to increase 300%, 100%, 130%, 400%, 1,500%, obviously there is going to be a significant interest, 1,000%, 1,700%, so on and so forth. And just as importantly, it is giving us the date of upcoming turning point, it's giving us the price, and then subsequently it is giving us the date of the subsequent move, or the date of the top, and what the price is going to be. That's why we're able already to calculate what that top, or what that stock is expected to do going forward. So let's take a look at this Qatar Energy right here that we just published in our update. And if we go right here, we can essentially see what I was talking about. One second here, let me open it up. So this is Qatar Energy, and the people that have been following our work, what you see on the bottom here are cycle composites, and on the top as well. And basically bottom cycle composites are responsible for the bottoms, and top cycle composites are responsible for the top. And there are multiples of them running in any given market or any individual stocks. The line you see here are cycle clusters, and cycle clusters, we're essentially able to scan the entire duration of the stock and use our proprietary cycles in order to project them into the future. And what we found is that important turning points typically occur not when any individual cycle arrives, but when there are multiple cycles arrive at the same time. So the more cycles, the better, and the more stronger they are, the better. And essentially, if you have multiples of them and they are powerful longer-term cycles, you essentially guarantee the turning point at that time. So we use both factors and our three-dimensional calculations to confirm an upcoming turning point. And as you can see here, there's a very important bottom right here for Qatar Energy coming up, and it is being supported by not only our three-dimensional calculations right here, but it's also being supported by a cycle cluster, meaning that yes, our analysis is confirming that there's going to be an important bottom, that this wasn't the bottom, this wasn't the bottom, this wasn't the bottom, but an important bottom is coming up. And once it is in, it is then marks an important bottom for this particular stock, and then it will increase into here and then subsequently here. So obviously the perfect setup that we're looking for. We want to come in at the bottom and then ride it up, because our gains are essentially unlimited at that point in time. So another factor we use is in our three-dimensional calculations is it essentially picks out the region, and as you can see, it makes an exact projection of where the bottom is going to be. And the bottom is going to be in this particular region, which is let's say $20.50 plus or minus $1. Okay, so that's how we are able to essentially project these kind of, or identify these kind of stocks, and then make subsequently make the direction and projections of where the next stop is going to be in both price. Let me open this chart here for a second, and time. So we know that it's going to bottom here, and then it's going to increase in here, and we can, once the bottom is in, well, even before the bottom is in, I actually don't have that open on the chart right now. It takes a little bit of time. I forgot, but if I believe correctly, the extent of the rally is going to be quite significant, over $60 a share, within a relatively short period of time that we arrive here in July of 2027. So that's the power of our mathematical work. This is not technical analysis, this is not fundamental analysis, even though we're very, very much familiar with those. But it's straight up math. Nobody else is doing what we do. I personally believe, at least nobody else is talking about it. And it gives you a very powerful way to identify those stocks that, for example, are about to bottom and then subsequently run up quite significantly going into the future, regardless of what the market's going to do. And that's essentially what we offer here. So that's it for today. We do offer a free subscription, free trial to our service, a 30-day free trial where you can take a look at opportunities such as these. You can look at the rest of our work, including the overall market, including the mega caps stocks that we analyze and follow. And that includes, commodity currencies, dollar, interest rates, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And actually, Bitcoin is, I should probably do a video about Bitcoin, as we are going to the top very soon. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, we have a 30-day free trial to our service, no strings, no credit card required. I do encourage people to request a free trial. We do have it limited to the number of spaces per month, so I do encourage people to contact us as soon as possible. because often there's a waiting list associated with it, and then we can get you in, and you can take a look at these stocks, the overall market, mega caps, our fast movers, super equities, so on and so forth. So that's going to be hopefully very helpful for somebody out there. That's it for today. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and we'll be back with more videos next week. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.